All right. So recently, Meg Thee Stallion got more drama with her label. She signed at 1501.
Favorite artist.
And we've heard. Oh yeah, I got a new name. I'm about to start calling her after all this shit comes out. But so Tina Snow recently got into it with their label or not label rep. He owns the label. Doug Crawford, former baseball player, uses baseball money funded into the label 1501.
Big ballin'.
So she came out and said, my lawyers asked him, Doug Crawford, for an expense report. Money 1501 supposedly had spent on me. Why is this grown ass man put this jewelry and chains on there? Lord, free me from this joke ass label. Oh, my fault. My fault.
You gotta read.
I always do that when I'm reading fucking tweets, bro. You gotta read bottom.
Hey,
to
so
top.
the way you do it is not playing.
First the man over my label said I don't make him any money. Now he countersuing, trying to keep me on his label because he wants to make more money. LOL. If I ain't making you no more money, why not just drop me? And he is countersuing, or he's suing her because of basically she had a project and under contract she had to put out X amount more albums. She put out a tape and wanted to count it as an album. Obviously, the label side is not going to rock with that.
Why would they want to drop her? She's a money farm.
Yeah, so then she carried on. And sorry, so that's what sparked up her originally saying that. Then she said, let me go, LOL. Greedy ass men. My lawyers asked him for an expense report. Money 1501 supposedly had spent on me. Why this grown ass man put his jewelry and chains on there? Lord, free me from this joke ass label. Carl, you got a whole contact with 300 and you talking shit to me like I got your fucking money. You are attacking me. Why? Because you want to be famous, not rich. Ask Kevin Lyles where your money at, stupid. You hate black women. Nah, I'm just playing. But you know she wanted to say that so badly. You know she wanted to say that, bro. Carl, I don't want to be signed to your pill popping ass. You talking about I ain't paid for a show and you sound slow. I'm the artist. I don't pay you directly. Maybe. Oh.
You did it again.
No, I didn't do it again. Oh, actually, I did. Fuck me.
You did it again.
Carl, I don't want to be signed to your pill popping ass. You talking about I ain't paid for a show and you sound slow. I'm the artist. I don't pay you directly. Maybe fight with the man you signed to and you might see some money, you fucking powderhead. You hiding behind Jay Prince. Carl, you got a whole contact with 300 and talking shit to me like I got your fucking money. You are attacking me. Why? Because you want to be famous, not rich. Ask Kevin Lyles where your money at. Stupid. And prior to that, this is what he posted that made her first get going. He posted a screenshot saying Meg Thee Stallion record label sues her. Last album didn't count. You owe us. Ooh. He said, stop playing the victim at the Stallion. You haven't paid for one show since 2019. Hiding behind Rock Nation. You can keep that bullshit ass mixtape and send over the straight drop whenever you're ready.
And what was it called? So her last album didn't count was because she an album is any more than 7 songs, right?
Right.
And her album had 21 songs, and they obviously they have different types of what's that shit called? It has to have a certain time limit of the amount of music you made, which is like 40 minutes. Her songs had too many skits in it, too many long intros, which he didn't count as music. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it came out to like 30 minutes of music versus 40. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the whole thing was pushed like a tape. And I think it's the one that's dropping out, Something for the Hotties. Even the title of that shit is clearly a tape. That ain't no album. She should have at least given it a name so she could be like, nah, fuck it. That's a project.
Something for
the Hotties. That literally sounds like something to hold y'all over.
Yeah, is that so? Oh, go ahead.
Carl posted on his story, he said, hey, y'all believe that bullshit all y'all want to. I don't got Twitter fingers, so I'm not about to type shit all day. But I promise, everything said about me about that matter is a lie. The truth will be out soon enough.
He type it right there.
Then he said, he said, defamation lawsuit coming. Ooh. And then he said, this is all coming from a bona fide alcoholic who fucked the whole industry, including her best friend, nigga.
She ain't fuck me.
Wait, her best friend what?
Best friend's nigga.
Oh, dirty.
Well, there's a lot of tea to uncover. There's a lot of tea here.
Let's get it aired out.
So first off, suit saying that basically you owe us another album. Mm-hmm. Does it seem valid? I have not heard the project, but from what I understand, it's more of a tape.
Does it seem valid? If it's written on a contract, if you owe them another tape, you owe me another tape. If it's on a contract or album,
She owes him 2 albums, so she's putting out one of them. Mm-hmm. and he's not considering that as an album.
See, I wonder, they got to go to, I guess, the music law on that at that point, because at that point it's subjective, right? Like, oh, I consider this an album or not an album, or a tape or not a tape. You have to, I guess we have to see what the law says about what is considered an album, and if it's written in their contract, then it's contractual. Like, there's really nothing you could do outside of that. Like, if her contract was 40 albums, you got 40 albums on your contract, there's nothing you could do.
Yeah, and another thing too is they have to clear it anyways. That's why a lot of people can't get their albums out. Like, by contract, they have to clear it for it to go out. So if he's saying I'm not clearing it, it's like, you can't argue with that. Shit, it ain't ready then. It can't be dropped.
That's what happened with Lil Wayne and Birdman, right? Like, his songs weren't getting cleared.
I think he wasn't dropping it because of all their like contractual issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. It's definitely not a good look. And I haven't heard her speak out since this, but now he was talking about also a defamation lawsuit for the stuff he said. She did call him a pill popper.
He called her an alcoholic. Yeah, pill popper, cokehead, all that shit. That's fucked up.
Yeah, airing out his business and all that type of shit. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you don't like the guy, but goddamn, you gonna put him shit on blast like that. But he be popping pills and snorting lines and still owning your ass. So it's like,
he's doing something right.
And you an alcoholic, so yeah. I feel like y'all party together.
For sure.
Yeah, but their situation seemed like weird from the jump, because 1501, from what I understand, signed her when she had no real traction, nothing really cracking. They get her. I mean, they signed with 300 as well. Yeah, actually that was it. That was the parent label or whatever. Signed to 300, and they got her shit like booming, but it seemed like she got booming, got really big, especially during the pandemic and stuff. And then they have Rock Nation jump in and look at the contract. Oh, you getting fucked over. You might as well ride with us, and we'll try to get you out that contract. Rock Nation is not going to buy off the rest of her contract, and that's what would be required from Doug Crawford. So she's now trying to be like, all right, I'm going to finesse it, put out some bullshit projects just to get off the album. Get off the label. Drake did that in If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. He just that's why that shit didn't seem that finished or that great of a project. He just put that shit up because it was contract renegotiation time or whatever. But it was the same type of situation of, I'm just going to finesse this one forward and then try to get the money right. But remember, her off the jump back then, before she even put out her debut project, was already talking about, nah, fuck my label. I'm trying to get off this shit. Nah, let me leave. Let me go to Rock Nation. Bro, I don't think, when people say that, it's like you don't understand how much these people, it's a music business. So when Doug Crawford is putting his funds into this label to fund artists, that's to get their return. Yeah. So people, they're not really why the fuck would you sign a contract, even if it's not a good contract? It's like industry standard, but the artist is getting fucked over. It's still, first of all, it's still a contract you signed up for, but you have to at least prove yourself, and then you come cordially and try to renegotiate, which is the same thing Doug Crawford said at the time when it first happened. He's like, okay, this is a standard contract. You haven't even put out your debut project. Yeah. Usually what an artist does is put out the project, perform well, and then we can talk about renegotiation of a contract. Drake got his shit renegotiated with the quickness. I forgot what the bars he had on, If You're Reading This Too Late, about getting his shit renegotiated. And boy, did that shit get renegotiated. So, I don't know. Everything about Meg, to be honest, it always seems like she goes about shit
and
in the least likable way.
Wasn't she in like a 360 deal with 1501?
I think she is in a 360 deal.
So it's like he's trying to get the profits from everything. So it's like whether it's merch, it's the music itself, the streams, the concerts. So I'm like, damn, you are really in a fucked up situation right now.
And at this point, he should he should, like, as a businessman, like, and maybe people will have more sympathy if she was doing well as an artist, like musically. At least from my ears, I haven't given her the thumbs up, like, oh, she's great. If she was a great artist, let's say like on like a Frank Ocean type thing, or like, let's say Isaiah was in that fucking situation because he's a great artist, but like less known, it would be like, oh, buy him out his contract, help him out, like more so from the public. But she has dug herself such a fucking hole in the past like 2 years about, the whole Tory situation. And even with this, just going off about the mouth about shit, now it's like you deal with it by yourself. Like, I feel like Rock Nation has like, they don't even want to deal with her now, and they're not even trying to help her in this situation. Like, she's by herself. That's kind of how it seems. Like,
maybe he's also just trying to take the money before the truth about the case comes out, bro.
As he should. He should get every penny he's owed, honestly. Like, and I don't feel bad for her. Like, she gets no sympathy.
Yeah, and honestly, I hardly feel bad for people, especially nowadays when they're like, I mean, I guess in some instances, but when it's, oh, my contract's fucked up or whatever. Okay, but what leverage did you have going into the deal? If you like, yo, I'm going to start rapping tomorrow, and I'm like, oh, bet, I'll fund your whole career. I'm going to give you, first, I'm going to advance you X amount of money. Then we're going to invest all this huge ass budget into your music coming out of my pocket, and you have no following, no leverage, no nothing. We built you into being a star. Yeah, I need a cut of everything. Yeah. You didn't have shit before this. I need a cut of every single thing you make, whether it's a good deal or not. It might be too long, too whatever length. Either way, you started out with shit, decided to take the deal. You got to rock out with the deal. And rock out the rest of your deal, and then now you're independent after that, and you can go sign to Rock Nation, reconfigure the contract with these guys. You have your windows, but so many people, bro, they get cracking, and then they're like, yeah, fuck these guys. They're taking too much of my money. Well, you're forgetting what the basis of the agreement was on. Exactly. We're going to blow your shit up and get you connections you would have never had, get you on radio.
Get you the money you never had either.
They said, recently I said it takes like $1 million to get a record to pop on just on radio. Then you got the playlisting. You got the clubs. You got the DJs. There's so many things they're getting you access to. How many fucking commercials is Meg in?
A lot.
Oh, yeah.
The same way you talk about Lil Yachty. He had the Sprite endorsements, all this shit. Remember when Joe Budden was yelling at him like, you don't know your fucking... He was in a 360 deal. There's a reason the label's going to push you so hard. Let me get this same scenario. Let me get this nigga in commercial. I got tapped in with this. Oh, he's great on screen. Let me get him over here. We're eating off of all this, but we're trying to make back on our investment. Right. So her dumb ass talking about, I ain't making no money, so why you want me on the label? Bitch, you've cost me money.
Exactly.
How the fuck I'm going to just let you off the label and I ain't made my return yet? Yeah. And she's talking about how you put my chains on there as an expense report. Well, did they pay for it or not? I never hear her refuting facts. She just be like, how you gonna say that? That's sad. Like, it don't be no like the chains were bought from my like the chains are bought from, you just never hear no direct argument. Like, how this nigga gonna put my, well, how much are your chains? 30,000, 50,000? I seen you dripped out, so yeah. Nigga, that, if it's an expense, and it's an expense.
It was funny. She was like, I ain't got your money. We know. We know you ain't got the money.
Talk to 300.
That's the problem, motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit is different.
Hey, right. You say you got a name for her.
Oh, he said you gotta wait.
I'll reveal it. But, all right, back to, so we talked last week about the Rihanna and Drake unfollowing. And I know we basically